Zoom Zoom. You feel it. And with extra value now at Mazda, it's time to own it. Go for Mazda CX-3 Neo from $22,490 drive away, plus a $500 Go bonus. It's time to go.
This week's headline acts at Jack's features the Spitting Swallows this Friday night.
Part of the Ace Radio Network, 99.5 and 99.9 TRFM.
13 degrees in Melbourne, sunny, a top today, 24, 9 o'clock, good morning. I'm David Armstrong. There is a strong push for Melbourne to officially recognise Barry Humphries with a theatre and arts centre or a performance named in his honour. Premier Daniel Andrews has already contacted the family with the view of a possible state funeral. There's also growing momentum for Moonee Ponds housewife superstar Dame Edna Everage to be further recognised in the suburb. Fellow comic and actor John Cleese says he first saw Humphries on stage 35 years ago.
And I was blown away by it, not just because he was terribly funny, but the way that he picked people out in the audience and then remembered their names and everything about them an hour later. I thought it was the most extraordinary exhibition and just about the best stand-up I ever saw.
Police are seeking witnesses to a stabbing at Port Melbourne that's left a 17-year-old girl with serious injuries. Girls believed to have been attacked by another young female, described as Caucasian with blonde hair, at Westgate Park just after 1 a.m. yesterday. A major review into Australia's defence capabilities will highlight the need to fast-track the purchase of long-range missiles. The review was commissioned after the Albanese government was elected last year. It will see the Navy and Air Force play a greater role while spending on the Army is reduced. Defence Industry Minister Pat Conroy says it's important to better protect ourselves and the region.
We face the greatest strategic uncertainty since World War II. We face the biggest arms race in the region since World War II as well. And we need an Australian Defence Force that has impactful projection, an Australian Defence Force that is able to deter adversaries so that we don't get into conflict in the first place.
The Gallipoli Peninsula dawn service preparations have started on the eve of Anzac Day. Edward Godfrey is in Gallipoli.
Preparations are in their final stages ahead of what's sure to be a moving dawn service here on the Gallipoli Peninsula at Anzac Cove. Rehearsals were conducted today, watched on by some who've made the journey. It's expected to be the biggest attendance since the centenary, with more than 1,600 people registered to come along. Of those, around 1,100 are Australians, and there are 330-odd Kiwis who've spent the weekend visiting many of the sites here and the battlefields. This year marks 108 years since the Anzacs landed on these shores, a disastrous campaign that claimed the lives of more than 8,000 Australians. On the Gallipoli Peninsula, Edward Godfrey, 9 News.
The Australian arm of the mafia reportedly has a new boss. The Herald Sun reporting the new chief is a convicted criminal. He replaces a man who has no criminal record and had been considered Australia's Italian organised crime godfather since the 90s. There are calls to give Skybus a dedicated lane on the Tullamarine Freeway following the decision to delay airport rail. The project was due to open in 2029, but now faces a delay of up to 4 years due to budget constraints. Professor Graham Curry, Chair of Public Transport at Monash University, says Skybus will suffer worsening travel times, and a simple solution is using the emergency lane.
Actually, you can. It's not something that you want to encourage too much, but we do it on the Eastern Freeway for the buses from Manningham. So there are some examples of that.
Sport for Cynic's Better Home Living. Get a better deal on small appliances.
The inaugural Australian Live Golf event's being hailed a success after a big weekend in Adelaide. More than 75,000 fans attended the Grange Golf Club, where Taylor Gooch claimed a 3-shot victory. The highlight came from Chase Koepka, who was showered with beer cups by fans after a hole-in-one on the designated party hole. Koepka says it was unlike any tournament he's played at before.
Honestly, the week it's hard to describe how they made us feel. I mean, I get goosebumps just thinking about it again. I mean, the fairways lined up like that with that amount of people. I mean, I'd never experienced anything like that before.
Carlton forward Jesse Motlop's expected to face scrutiny from the match review officer on a dangerous tackle on Dougal Howard. The Blues picking up the pieces after a 22-point loss to St Kilda. Gold Coast captain Touk Miller will have scans today after being subbed out of last night's 43-point win over North Melbourne with a knee injury. 9:05, and that's the latest news and sport.
The Quarter Pounder. 100% Aussie beef, cheese, mustard and pickles. If you think about it long enough, you might forget you've already made dinner. Grab a Quarter Pounder on the My Macca's app today.
Need a new website? Ace Digital offers affordable website development for you and your business. More details at ace.digital.
Your dollar could be the dollar that keeps a local business open. Back a local. Buy in Gippsland.
Connected to Gippsland. Smash the cash with a Saturday members draw at the Lakes Entrance Bolo. Local news online and on air now.
I'm Greg Allen. Anzac Day commemorations will be held across Gippsland tomorrow, remembering Australians and New Zealanders who served and died in all wars, conflicts and peacekeeping operations. The member for Gippsland, Darren Chester, says Anzac Day is also about those who serve today.
It's a chance to say thank you for your service to those who are continuing to serve today and also their families who support them in that service.
With the return of the Gips Dairy Muster in early June, organisers hope they will find solutions to workforce shortages. The event is taking on a different form this year, being held inside with feature speakers. Organiser Sarah O'Brien says there are currently job opportunities in the sector.
So I guess being flexible in the kind of workforce that we have and thinking outside the box of ways that we can deliver in dairy for Australia and overseas markets. There's always opportunities for students to participate in agriculture.
There's more local news and sport online now at trfm.com.au.
Traralgon Toyota, certified pre-owned. LMCT 12130.
TRFM weather for Gippsland and the Valley.
Your 4-day forecast. Sunny today with light winds, dropping down to 7 degrees tonight. And tomorrow for Anzac Day, a mostly sunny day with a top of 25. Wednesday, mostly sunny again, 24. Thursday, shower or two, also top of 24. Lakes Entrance heading for 21 today. The Valley, 24. Bairnsdale or Boston Sale, 23. Right now, it's 9 degrees.